now that I've got your attention, we've got huge news for DBD. This is completely blind. I just got on my computer. I haven't looked at any of this, all right? Although I did see this. I did see Don't Dead open inside. We're getting The Walking Dead. Incredible. I learn more tomorrow. I think the PTB is coming out tomorrow. I'm not sure. Either way. Oh, whoops, blue screen. Either way, great. We're probably going to get Rick. We're maybe going to get Daryl. Hope we get Michonne, please. Oh, maybe Carol. Please, I love Carol. Either way, we kind of knew because they teased a little bit in the, what was it, the showcase they did before the Spring Trap chapter came out. They did like this little showcase of a whole bunch of stuff, and there was that, like, the ones who lived was like hidden in there, so we kind of knew this. But here's another thing. Here's a big news. Okay, Dig of the Changes coming to the 9.1.0 PTB. So this is going to be a PTB. New Survivor item. It's been years. It's been years since we've got a Survivor item. This is great. I talk about this all the time right here. Keys and maps are updated. You don't understand. You don't understand. Incredible. Executioner update. Hopefully, they give him some better add-ons. His add-ons are so dookie balls right now. They're so bad. Preset improvements. I don't know what that means. And more. Okay, we're just going to hop into it. Well, I'm literally wasting no time with this. So what is this? Approaching. Let's dive into notable gameplay changes you can expect from... Okay, so what does this mean? Ooh, so major change, medium change, minor change. Can we see that all right? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh no, my camera's not blocking it. So this is a major change, this is a medium change, minor change. Purple, green, yellow. What is getting a major change? Overwhelming presence and streetwise? I like to run streetwise with dramaturgy and with built to last. Frank, okay. Let's work. I'm getting ahead of myself. Pig getting a change. Knight getting a change. Clown getting a change, and Executioner getting a change. Executioner's falling a little bit behind in terms of killers. He still fits a good niche, I think. Clown, you can yell at me. You can yell at me all you want. I think Clown is a little lacking. He's very strong in chase, but he has nothing else. I wouldn't even say he's pretty strong in chase. He's very strong in chase. Let's not pretend. Minor change to Knight, I couldn't even tell you. Medium change to Pig, is it a buff? I hope it's finally a buff. We've been nerfing Pig for like 8 seasons. I know Pig is still a very strong killer with the head traps and how much that slows down survivors and whatnot. I know she's still very strong. I don't think she needs to be all the way at nurse. I don't think that Pig needs to teleport through walls. I think she needs a little bit of a buff to keep up with the power creep going on, especially with new killers like Singularity, Dracula, Lich. Very strong killers. I think she could keep up. I saw Still Sight. I looked down and I saw Still Sight. Okay. Perks are going to minor change to Insidious. Okay. I can't possibly imagine what that would be. I hope maybe it's like, oh, if you're standing still and then you move, you get like 5 more seconds of undetectable maybe. Hubris. Listen, if you've been playing the event recently, you've probably been playing against someone with Hubris. The anniversary event, for people who are viewing this who haven't played the anniversary event, you can create fake pallets that when you drop them, they just shatter. But you can still get the stun with those pallets. So Hubris, if you stun the killer, you are exposed. So that's why, like, during the event, you've been seeing a lot of this, because killers will just run right into the pallets that shatter and then just get the insta-down because of Hubris. Dragon's Grip. I think Dragon's Grip is bad. Well, let me put it this way. I think Dragon's Grip cannot stand by itself. Dragon's Grip is not good on its own. If you do a full build around Dragon's Grip, I think it's pretty good. The value you get out of it is very dependent-wise, so minor change, can't complain. Scorch Hook, Hangman's Trick. Okay, so if Scorch Hook, Hangman's Trick, if you're carrying a survivor, you can see another survivor that's like, I think it's like 4 meters around a Scourge Hook. It does like almost nothing. So a minor change, can't complain. Overwhelming Presence. Now this one, I think that this one is the... Oh yeah, if you're within the killer's terror radius, your item consumption, you, the survivor, within the killer's terror radius, your item gets used up quicker in their terror radius. Which is a very perk. It's very situational. If you have survivors with 4 flashlights, it's not going to do anything. If you have survivors with 4 toolboxes, it might do a little bit more. I think a major change to this isn't bad. Medium change to Franklin's Demise. Who knows. The perk only does one thing. When you hit someone with a basic attack, they drop their item. Medium change, maybe they make it so when you hit them with a... maybe they make it so it has a cooldown. Maybe they make it so if you hit them with a special attack, they also drop their item. I mean, this could go buff or nerf. I don't know. Potential energy. Potential energy. Here's the problem with potential energy, right? With potential energy, you push the special ability button on a generator, right? And then you build up charges by sitting there doing some magic lifts. The problem is, while you're doing that to build up charges, you build up those charges and then you release them all at once. And you can choose when to release them. So you can take those charges and go to a different gen and immediately give that other gen like 20% progress. It sounds very strong in concept. Here's the problem though. While you're sitting there doing that on a gen, you're not giving the gen any progress. So maybe they'll change that. Maybe you give the gen half progress, so it still does something. The problem with potential energy is that you sit there doing that, but again, you don't give the gen any progress, so you could just be giving the generator progress. Because it feels like it negates itself. Like, you know. But, and another thing with potential energy is when you get hit at all, when you lose a health state, essentially, you lose those charges you built up, making the perk very situational. Again, it negates itself in a weird way. It doesn't really do much for you. If you run potential energy and, let's say, prove thyself, you can give your teammate extra progress while doing the gen, but you also are still kind of holding them back by building charges instead of just giving the gen charges. You know, it's an odd perk. I hope it becomes good. It's really good in theory, really good in concept, but the execution just isn't that great. I have to, honestly. Any means necessary. Now, this is the one where you can see downed pallets around the map. You can see downed pallets around the map, and you can pick them back up. What I hope they do... Ooh, this might actually be very bad. I really hope they don't make it so you can rebuild pallets. If they make it so you can rebuild pallets, that might be too much. Well, it's a minor change. It's a minor change. So I hope that either you pick up the pallets faster... pick up the pallets faster, or something like that. Couldn't tell you. I've been using this perk recently. It's a lot of fun. If a killer doesn't leave a pallet on the ground, if a killer just breaks pallets immediately, it doesn't really do much. So there is that. But, ooh, they could have you rebuild pallets, but make it like a 2-minute cooldown. That way you're just not running around the map building pallets back up. But if you see like 4 people with any means necessary rebuilding pallets, I don't know. I don't think they're going to do that. It's a minor change, not a major change, so I don't think rebuilding pallets is going to add into it. And the only reason I bring that up at all is because rebuilding pallets is a thing you can do in the 2v8 game mode. It's not out right now as the time I'm speaking, but you know, better together when you're on a gen. I think it highlights it for other people, if I'm not mistaken. Now, a minor change, couldn't really tell you. Maybe it gives like 2% extra speed. I don't know. Still sight. Okay, still sight is a really cool one. In concept again. Now, the thing about still sight is that when you stand perfectly still, you see, within like a 32-meter radius, you see the killer if he comes towards you. Chests, totems, generators. You essentially get like wall hacks. But it's only if you're standing still. So a minor buff, maybe they'll lower the time on it. Maybe they'll do this. Maybe if you stop moving at all, you could see all that. Like maybe if you're like running, you stop, you see it all, and then you keep running. Maybe it works like that. I think still sight, again, great perk in concept and theory. Execution's a little I don't even think it's a bad perk. It's just if you have good map knowledge and you've played the game for like 2,000 hours, like I have, you know where things are. You don't really need to, like, I can be like, oh, there's a generator that's been done over there, there's a generator that's been done over there, another generator, the generators that haven't been done are probably in this direction, you know what I mean? So, like, and I know where chest spawns are, for the most part, like, oh, I'll be like, oh, here's a TL loop. Chests, like, they spawn in this little crevice right here, or, like, totems usually spawn on top of a hill or in shack, so, you know, I know where things are for the most part. So still sight for a player like me personally, and I don't even have that much time in the game compared to a lot of other people. So still sight still falls a little short for people like me. I still think it's fun, but it's just outplayed by, you know, game knowledge and having experience. Build to last, minor change. Okay, so what build to last does, if you have an item, you deplete that item. You go in a locker for like, I think it's 12 seconds. You come back out. The item you depleted, you have to deplete it, by the way. The item you depleted has 99% charges. You do it again, you deplete the item. Let's say it's a toolbox. You get on a gen, you use up the toolbox again. You get in a locker. The second time, it'll have 66 progress on it. All right, you use up the toolbox again, you get in a locker again, it'll have 33 progress on it. So each time you replenish an item by going into a locker, it will give you 33% less on it, starting at 99. So you get about 2 extra full uses out of it. Because you get the 99 and then you get the 66, and then 66 plus the 33 is 99 and 99. So you use up the item once, and then you get a 99 and a 99 charge, essentially. Appraisal. I don't remember what appraisal does. It's one of those perks that kind of falls through the cracks for me. I don't really remember what it does. I think you can rummage through chests. Let's say someone takes a toolbox out of a chest, they run with it, they go repair a gen. You go to that chest that is now empty, and you can rummage through, grab something. Like it's like essentially just giving chests an extra item. It's okay. Now Streetwise, I don't remember the exact percentage, but essentially what Streetwise does is if you have an item like a toolbox, and let's say the toolbox lasts for 12 seconds, you equip Streetwise. Streetwise makes your items last 33% longer. So that toolbox that would naturally repair for 12 seconds now goes to like 23 seconds. That wouldn't be, it'd go for like 20 seconds, right? My math is wrong, don't get me wrong, but I'm giving you a broad idea. But this one is getting a major change. That one's getting a major change, and I hope it's a little bit of a buff. Now, Streetwise is very good, don't get me wrong. Streetwise and Built to Last are a deadly combo. But Streetwise, again, it falls short from perks, from just other perks. It falls short by just like, why would people run that when I could run something like Windows of Opportunity, Self-Care, Botany Knowledge, stuff like that, which is far more useful in certain situations. Again, it's not a bad perk, it's just, it feels a little short compared to the power creep of perks we have right now. Detective's Hunch. Okay, I think this is the one where when a generator gets completed, I don't remember what the prerequisite is. I don't remember if there's a prerequisite for this perk, like you have to do something before it activates, but I think Detective's Hunch is the one where a generator completes and you see like chests, totems, and generators within so much of an area of effect. Which is okay. A minor change, can't complain. Deja Vu. There's so many. Okay, see, Deja Vu is one of those perks that has an eyeball icon. Now, I'm going to have to look it up. Deja Vu DBD perk, because I could not tell you what it was. The aura of the 3 generators in close proximity to one another are revealed to you at all times. Increases your repair speed on those generators by 6%. Okay. So, the thing is, you get to see 3 generators, right? You see 3 generators on the map, randomly. And on those generators, you get a 6% speed increase on repairing. It's good. It's not bad, but again, it feels like it falls a little short. So we're just kind of like buffing perks. Perks like Overwhelming Presence. Overwhelming Presence is in the dump truck, or the dumpster. It's bad. People don't use it. If you use it on like Doctor or something, you kind of get use out of it, but it's still very situational. Insidious is a really meme perk. So take that what you will. Dragon Script the same. Hangman Scourge Hook's the same. Like all these perks are kind of like Some of them are better than others. Some of them, glad to see that. Executioner, I hope he's getting an add-on change. I think they could do a little bit to his base kit. Whatever. Clown, I don't know what they're going to do. Knight, I have no idea. The Pig, I have no idea. I have no idea. And honestly, I'm kind of excited to see what they have in store. Quality of life improvements, preset improvements, keyboard and mouse on console. Okay, keyboard and mouse on console. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you could literally just hook up a keyboard to your whatever, like your PlayStation 4 or whatever, in the USB port in the front. I don't know. I've never tried it. I had a PS4. I just never tried it. Custom game spectator improvement. Okay, that's good for like DBD content creators who do like showcases of like, oh, look at this killer, or like, let's say they're showing off, they're bringing their friends in, they're like, hey, let's take a look at the new killer because the DBD load times for this particular time are horrible, so we're just gonna jump into a custom match and load in immediately. stuff like that. New item fog vial. I have to imagine it's some kind of smoke bomb, like we had in the Halloween event. In the Halloween event, you could, I forgot how you get it. Oh yeah, you had to go, it was a whole bunch. There was a whole bunch of steps. But essentially, you throw it at the ground and it creates this big plume of smoke. Not much else to say about that. Survivor item updates, keys, and maps. Okay. New survivor item fog vial. Now, we have been waiting a long time for the survivor item. Added a new equipable item for survivors, the fog vial. Its effects include using a fog vial causes a fog cloud to expand outward from the point where it was used, dissipating after a set time. Smoke bomb. Scratch marks do not spawn within a fog cloud. Ooh, okay. Audio is muffled for anyone within a fog cloud. Okay, so it really works like the Halloween item. And I know I've seen some discourse on this. I tried my best to avoid it, but I saw people being like, it's not like that item, it's not. I'm just telling you, this is kind of how it worked. The auras of players within a fog cloud cannot be read by other players. It's a smoke bomb. It's a smoke bomb. I guess we'll have to see how it works in game, if it's like the Halloween item or not. Has a cooldown which recharges over time. What? Has a cooldown? So this is not... Oh my gosh. So this is not like a flashbang where you use it and it's gone. This is an item with a cooldown. That's interesting. I think in the first few months of this getting added, we're going to see a lot. The fog vial specializes in creating confusion and breaking line of sight. When it's activated, the fog obscures your surroundings while still allowing for limited visibility within your immediate vicinity. By moving to a single, recharging use. Survivors can use the fog vial multiple times per trial and don't have to be quite so precious about saving charges. Okay. Keys. Keys are so bad right now. Keys are so bad right now. They have very limited use. They're very gimmicky. And if you use the perk Dramaturgy, if you use Dramaturgy, sometimes it can give you an item with random add-ons and whatnot. It can give you a key that is useless. There are a lot of keys, like combinations with the add-ons that are useless, which no other item has. Like, if you have a toolbox, you'll always have a toolbox, no matter what add-ons you put on there. If you bring in just a key with no add-ons to the item, it is, most of the time, useless. It doesn't do anything. It needs a big buff. Changed item charges to refer to individual uses of item rather than the overall time it can be used for. Okay, so let's say... So charges is instead like you have 3 uses. So you use the key. Let's say you have the, I forget what it is, the blood amber, which shows the killer's aura. You use it and you see the killer's aura for like 5 seconds and then you used up that thing. Instead of just like holding it, you see it. You see the killer's aura. You see the killer's aura, you know what I mean? Which, not bad. I think that's how it's going to work, right? Channel the key to consume 1 charge and reveal survivor's aura for a limited time. Oops. I didn't mean to click on that. So that just comes with it. When near a closed hatch, consume 1 charge to unlock it. Ooh. So let me collect my words real quick. So what the key is right now is that when you're near a hatch, right? If you're near a hatch that has been closed and you have a key that can open the hatch, you don't need any charges left on it to open the hatch. Which, it's powerful, but, like, it's, again, very situational. Consume 1 charge to quickly unlock a chest and gain an item of rarity or higher. Once a chest has been unlocked with a key... Wait, okay, so, before we get to that part. Consume 1 charge to quickly unlock a chest and get an item of rarity or higher. Can't complain. But that kind of makes the... Wait a minute, hold on. But that kind of makes the key useless, doesn't it? Because you'd have to drop the key to pick up that new item. So how does that work? Why wouldn't you just bring in a good item? Hold on, hear me out on this. If you bring in a key to unlock a chest quickly, because you have 1 charge, you have to use up 1 charge. Now, we have yet to see how many charges a base key comes with. There's a lot of rarities of key, so we don't really know. I guess, why would you not just bring in a good item? I guess we'll read it. We'll read on. Once a chest has been unlocked with a key, it is revealed to nearby survivors. Can be rummaged in by 1 other survivor to gain an additional item of rarity or higher. Of rarity or higher. Ooh, okay. So let's say, ooh, okay, so here's the idea, right? you bring in a key. You also bring in, let's say, Flashbang, the perk. You can get on a gen, create a flashbang, give a flashbang to someone else. Create a flashbang, give it to someone else. And you can also go around to chests. It'll be revealed to nearby survivors. So you bring the key in, you unlock a chest, it pings for that survivor, like over there. They're like, oh, cool, I could use an item. I'm empty right now. I just used up my toolbox. Okay. All right. So you're kind of helping out other people. I see. I like that. You don't really need comms. It's going to be revealed to other survivors. You don't need to be... You could still do it in solo queue. Not bad. Not bad. I like it. You caught me. Because I saw the using a key to unlock a chest, and I was like, what? But I like that. I like that it reveals to other survivors. Adjusted the effects of individual items, rarities, and several add-ons. Okay. Dev note. Keys stood out as the least used survivor item. Yes. Without a doubt. And were typically outclassed by other options. Absolutely. We've reworked them to offer a wide range of utility and tap into other players' yearning for higher rarity items. Okay. Now the charge system is easier to track. Think of it as uses rather than use time. And the aura reading capabilities of keys are improved while also adding some team-wide utility. In addition to making it easier for the equipped player to get quality items from chests, keys also extend the opportunity to a single teammate. Okay. That's great. Ooh. Preset. Okay. I don't know what that is. Survivor items maps. Changed item charges to uses of item. Okay, so instead of like... And so how the charges work, right, for like a map or a key, let's say you have 24 charges. 24 charges means like 12 seconds. So if you hold the map, like the use button, let's say you hold like right click on your mouse with a map. You use one charge. You use it for 1 second. You use up 2 charges. In that 1 second, you'll see gens around you. You'll see like all this, right? Like wall hacks and whatever add-ons you put on it. But that'll use up 2 charges. And the longer you hold it, the more charges it uses up. Yeah. But they're just gonna have it like you just click the button and it shows you for like 5 seconds or however it works. That's cool. I like that. Adjusted the uses for this item to cover the following: channel the map to consume 1 charge and reveal nearby pallet and vault auras to yourself for a limited time. So it's going to cover some windows of opportunity if you prefer not to run the perk. Okay, not bad. Now that's iffy. We'll see how that works out. For a limited time, the limited time really depends on how long it is. Other than that, cool. I can't complain. While auras are revealed, press the use item button again to create a beam of light, only visible to survivors. Okay, so there was an add-on for this. I think it's called the focusing lens or something. Now, what you could do with the focusing lens is you'd like use the map and then you push space, and it would leave a little beam. So that way, if you're like in solo queue or even talking with or like playing with new players or even experienced people, you could be like, hey, I'm working on this gen right here, and you could leave a beam of light that like shoots into the sky. You can see it all around the map as long as you have like a clear open sky. Like if you're in an indoor map, it's not going to do as much, but essentially just says, hey, this is an important place, essentially. While auras are revealed, press the use. Okay, we see all that. Revealing the auras. Wait, hold on. Use the item button again to create a beam of light, revealing the auras of generators within the beam's range to all survivors. Ooh. So you don't even... Okay, so let's... Ooh. Hold on. So you could just put it down and they'll see the generator. They don't have to... So they can like see it from across the map, even in an indoor map. I like that. Adjusted the effects of individual items and rarities. Okay, similar to keys, map stood out as underutilized item, which didn't fit into beginner or experienced player kits. Yeah, maps were kind of Maps retain the spirit of giving players awareness of their surroundings, making their effects more consistent, and extending some value to teammates. Now, there's no need to track objects before they show up. Okay. Ooh, okay. Increased total number of character customization presets to 7. Nice. Okay, look at that. So you can, if you're like, oh, I like this outfit where I use this hat, this shirt, these pants, you can set that to like a Dwelf mode. Ooh, so you can name them too? Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I keep looking ahead before I read. 7 presets, so now you can save 7 outfits. Increase total number of loadout presets to 7. Okay, and that goes for your perks too. So your perks, if you're like, ooh, I like these 4 perks together, you can save them to 1 preset, and you can have 7 of those. Added the ability to change name presets. Yeah, if I look at here, I'm playing Detective Sherlock over here, looking at the image when it says it right there. Okay. Dev note, whether it's the pursuit of fashion or prepping perks for every situation, we wanted to make it easier to save your faves. Don't worry about your existing presets will be ported into this updated system. Okay. Keyboard and mouse on consoles. Added keyboard support on the following console platforms. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. Not available on the PTV. Okay. Custom match improvements. Added hotkey inputs to custom game spectating to switch to the killer's perspective. Added spectator hotkeys representation next to players' portraits to improve usability. Okay. Option to toggle spectator hotkeys, visibility, and then adjust them in the input binding menu. I don't know what most of this means. Shows dead survivor icons if joining as a spectator after getting sacrificed. Okay. Ooh, killer updates. Here we go. Executioner. Increased punishment of the dam's range. Thank God. Now, if you are new or you don't really know much about Pyramid Head, most Pyramid Head players, their add-ons are kind of doo-doo. And the add-ons that are the most used are the ones that make his little... He does a little like... where he has this big line come up, and if it hits you, it damages you. Most people just increase the range using add-ons. Because it's like, why else would you do anything else? Increase the duration of Rites of Judgment trail drawing and trail lifetime. Okay, so when a Pyramid Head puts his sword into the ground and he kind of drags it, he leaves behind this like slug trail, and if you step on that, you become what is it? I think it's condemned. No, I don't know if that's the right word, but essentially, if you step on the trail, you have this like ring around your icon on the left of your survivor, and that means that the Pyramid Head can do like a special move to send you to a special hook. They're increasing the duration of that. Increasing the range of his little wave attack. Decrease Rites of Judgment's movement speed. Okay, so when he puts the thing in the ground, he moves slower. That's fine. I don't really have much to say about that. Added haste and endurance effect to survivors saved from a cage. Oh, okay. Oh, so I didn't even realize that they didn't have this. So when you're condemned and Pyramid Head does his little thing and sends you to a special hook, if you get unhooked, you don't have endurance and you don't have haste. So let's say, for example, if Pyramid Head showed up at the hook where you were getting unhooked, he could immediately down you again because you don't have endurance. All right, that's nice. Added input buffering to transition from Punishment of the Damned to Rites of Judgment. Okay, so... boom, boom. Okay. Begin caging or killing a survivor when the prompt is available. Reworked his add-ons. Oh my god, they reworked his add-ons! Okay. Beautiful. Clown medium update. Now this was a medium update, and I think it's a well-needed medium update. Increased movement speed while reloading bottle. Okay. Decreased bottle reload time. Okay, I do think those both needed. Adjusted the effects of the yellow bottles. Increased haste. Increased the distance and speed that smoke sprites do. Increased activation speed. Okay, so if you throw the clown's yellow bottle, it'll like hit something and it'll go and then after like a second, it'll turn yellow, which only after it turns yellow will it give you, the clown, and survivors a haste effect. So, the fact that you don't have to wait for it as long anymore, nice. Adjusted the effects of the purple bottle. Decreased the hindered effect. Okay. Decreased how long the hindered effect lingers after leaving smoke. Okay. So they're nerfing his chase ability. Okay. Okay, I think that's fine so far. They're making him more balanced. Added input buffering to charging a bottle throw, reloading bottles, adjusted several add-ons. Ooh, okay. His add-ons were also okay. The Knight, minor update, increased maximum patrol path length. So when you go like this and you put down a Knight, the length of the patrol is increased. Okay. Increased path drawing speed, acceleration, and strafe speed. Okay. Yeah, not much to say there. Carnifex standard spawns. The Carnifex's standard spawns slower. Alright, it's worded weird. But the Carnifex is the big buff guy. He can damage things quicker. He can break pallets in one swoop. He is the guard that you send out if you want something brute force done. Now, it makes sense that his spawn would be slower, because he's not supposed to be for chase. I think that's good. The assassin and the jailer spawn quicker. Okay. The assassin is faster, and the jailer, I think, has the longer... I think the jailer, his chase lasts the longest, which is what he's for, and the assassin is very quick. Added input buffering to drawing a path. Adjusted call to arms add-on. Ooh. Now, what was... I believe the Call to Arms add-on was when you had a guard chasing someone. They couldn't leave the gate. They couldn't leave through the exit. It would, like, block it for them. But let's see. Oh, no. I'm so wrong. It's the yellow add-on. Ooh, don't mind these ads. Get out of here. Increase maximum length of the patrol path by 10 meters. Increase the movement speed while drawing the patrol path by 2 meters. Okay, so they reworked it because they just added it base kit. Okay, that makes sense. The pig. Okay. Oh, that's all for that. Patrol path is an important part of the nice gameplay, so we made it feel snappier. Okay. Pig. Increased crouch movement speed. They needed that. Pig is a stealth killer. Her stealth felt a little slow a lot of the time. Increase speed of crouching and uncrouching. Good. Increase the speed at which the terror radius fades when crouching. Okay. They're reasonable. Increase ambush movement speed. Okay, so when you're crouching as Pig, you can hold left click to ambush, and you do like a dash, which is super quick. Increasing the movement speed. Now, that's one of her 2 abilities. So the fact that they're buffing that makes sense. Added input buffering to crouching, charging an ambush attack. Adjusted several add-ons. Okay. Ooh. So here are the perk updates for survivors. Updated enemies necessary. Updated appraisal. Updated better together. Updated built to last. Updated deja vu. Update hunch. Update potential energy. Updated still sight. Reworked streetwise. Ooh. So it's going to do something different. Now, I think that's all they show. What? Oh. I was sorry. I was engrossed by that GIF. So Streetwise is getting a rework. Ooh, I'm kind of interested for that. Everything's getting updated, which is fine. Killer perks, updated Dragon's Grip, updated Franklin's Demise, updated Hubris. Okay, so Franklin's might be getting like a cooldown, or like what they might be doing with Franklin's Demise is they might make it. So let's put it this way: when you basic attack, you knock an item out of Survivor's hand. They drop it on the ground, right? And while that item that was knocked out of their hands is on the ground, it loses charges. It loses charges, so when the survivor comes back to it, it could even be empty. So you knock the item out of their hand, they're in chase, right? They come back to it after getting unhooked or healed up, and they're like, oh, it's empty now. That's what Franklin's does. It kind of like negates items as a whole. So updated, they're probably going to make it like... they're probably going to make it easier for survivors to come back to their item that was left on the ground, and it still has charges, right? Updated Hubris, updated Insidious, reworked Overwhelming Presence. Absolutely. Updated Scourge Hook Hangman's Trick. Okay. We don't know anything about the perks yet. But overall, all of this combined with the great update we got with Springtrap. Now, there's some controversial things in the Springtrap update, like Moriing a survivor while there's only 2 survivors left, removing the unhook self mechanic. There's a lot of controversy there, but what I'm seeing right now from the DBD devs as a whole is they're really trying to fix everything. It's been a while since we got item changes. It's been a while since we got a whole bunch of changes like this. It looks like they're working really hard. They just added Springtrap, which is probably the biggest chapter we're ever going to have. Obviously, the FNAF Five Nights at Freddy's itself is a huge piece of media. Huge indie game, and it went all the way into getting its own movie, which was also good. And now we have The Walking Dead coming up, as announced by Dead by Daylight, right here. Walking Dead is also going to be a huge chapter. I don't think it's going to be as big as Springtrap, but with these 2 huge chapters, it really looks like they're just kind of trying to fix everything. They're trying to fix everything in one big swoop. Now, we still have a lot of bugs. We still have a lot of bugs in the game, but soon after the Springtrap's update, or his update that came with this whole chapter, they implemented a whole bunch of bug fixes. It looks like they're really grinding on this. They're really going hard. They're trying their best to make, like, they're adding a new item. We haven't had a new item for so long. This is going to be real nice. It's going to be so fun. They're really just trying to make the game way more fun, I think. And I'm excited. You can see that they're I've already said this, but they're grinding. They're putting their heart into it. They're putting their heart into it, and I think sometimes the community is a little bit rough on the devs because, you know, they have crunch times. They gotta get this chapter out by then. They gotta get this chapter out by then in like 8 months. So they're working like months ahead of time. So the fact that we're getting a bunch of reworks, we're getting a bunch of add-on reworks, we're getting some lesser killers that are getting buffed. I know people have their own thing to say about Knight and Clown. I think these updates are all good. I think it's gonna be a great time. I'm super excited for this. Obviously, this isn't even sponsored. I know the way I'm talking, it sounds like I'm kind of sponsored. I want to make that clear. I'm not. I love DBD. I play it all the time. It's a fun game. I love it. But other than that, we'll see. I think the PT comes out tomorrow, so I'm excited for that as well. But either way, if you enjoyed today's video, show up next time. Same thing, different day. But until next time, stay safe, stay clean, take care of yourself, and have a great day or night, depending on your time zone. If it's not my time zone, you're wrong. Sorry, that's how it is. But until then, I will see you guys. I was about to say in the fog. No. See, that's definitely sounded like I was sponsored. If I said like in the fog, because, you know, DBD the fog. All right, I'm gonna end the video here before I say anything else because I'm just digging myself a hole.